This tutorial will show you how to use the Magnify lens in CorelDraw. Now, to illustrate the Magnify lens effect, it's all about like, for example, in this artwork here, I have an illustration of a playground wherein, let's say I want to magnify just this part here, and I can use the magnify lens in order to do that. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Windows, and we're going to make the Docker visible for the lens. So you go to Window, go to Docker, and click on Lens. Okay, now this is the lens Docker, and if you notice, if you click on this drop down here, you can see all these effects like brighten, color add, color limit, custom, and in here we have the magnify option here. So I'm going to start by just deleting these objects here, and we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to delete that, delete this. Okay, now we're going to start that effect. So for example, I want to just to highlight or to make this portion bigger or magnify. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my ellipse tool or F7 and hold down Control to make a perfect circle and create a circle. Okay, it's best to color the outline now before doing the magnify effect. So if you want to color the outline or make the outline thicker, so you click on the object, the circle, go here and go to your outline pen, or you can choose these presets here. So I'm going to choose 2 points, and I'm going to change the color of the outline by going here in the palettes and then right mouse click on to the color. Okay, so I right mouse click on red, and the outline becomes red. So I'm going to center this here, and in my Docker here, if you notice, his amount is 2.1, so it's 2 times the actual size of the object. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in there. So now I'm going to, okay, so I click on this option here for 1.8 times, and you notice that it does change. It does changes. Okay, let's say I'm going to make it 1.5 or 1.6 is fine. Now this is a live lens, which means to say if I'm going to drag it over here, it magnifies that part too. Okay, but now I want only this one, and let's say I'm happy with that view. I'm going to go to my frozen. So once I click on frozen, this one won't be live anymore. So I can move this over to that side, and I can enlarge it. Okay. Now let's say I want to enlarge this portion here. So I'm going to go to my ellipse tool, hold down Control, and then make it 2 points, and then I'm going to color it by right mouse click on this red icon, and I'm going to move my cursor, or sorry, my circle, and I'm going to, let's say I'm going to magnify that part. Okay, I'm going to move that part or move that circle. Okay, let's say I'm happy with that one. So I click on frozen. Okay, so now it's not a live lens anymore, then I can move it over this side here. So basically that's how it works. It magnifies the object or the shape. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put an indication that this is the one that's magnify. So I go to my Bezier tool. Okay, I click here to the edge, click this part here, click, and then I'm going to close. And I can color, let's say I color it gray. Okay, remove the outline, right mouse click on this X icon to remove the outline. And I'm going to put this to front. Shift page up is the shortcut key, or you can always go to arrange order to front of page. Okay. So now this one I want to put a transparency just to make an effect that view came from there. Okay, if you notice it. Okay, so yeah, so you can change the transparent, I mean the gray color if you want, and you can change the slider if you want to, or if you want you can also add an outline if you want. So right mouse click here on the black and it makes an outline. So it's really up to you how you would do it. So same thing here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my Bezier tool, click here, here, and then I close. Okay, color that gray. Okay, so I click this circle, arrange order to front of page, or shift page up. Okay, and I'm going to go to my transparency and click and drag. There. So this is good for, you know, like illustrations. Let's say you want to show, you know, an enlarged view of, you know, of a portion of your drawing. Yep. So now let's go to page 2 here. Now in this graphic here, it's the same concept with the first one. If you notice here in page 1, these are all vector. So I click on view, wireframe, it's vector image. Okay. Now in here in page 2, magnify can also be used in an image. Okay. So if we analyze this object here, so this is just you know, a enlarged view of this portion here. Okay. But in here, my advice is that your source image, which is the big image here, should be a really high resolution image, so that the enlarged image won't be pixelated. Okay. So again, I'm just going to delete this, delete this. Okay, and let's say we're going to start. So I click on my ellipse tool, and let's say I'm going to enlarge this. So okay, I hold on control to make a perfect circle, magnify. Okay, it's a live length still. Okay, because I haven't frozen it. Okay, let's say I'm happy with this. You can always change the magnify option here. Let's say I'm happy with that. I click on frozen and I move this over this side, and I can enlarge that if I want. Now if I'm going to put a pointer here, what I'll do, I'll click on my Bezier tool, and let's say I'm going to start from here going this side here. Okay. And I'm going to color my outline by right mouse click on white here. Okay. And then this one I can put it to top, so arrange order to front of page. And in here, since that's my line, if I go to my line option here, outline option, outline pen, see I can always change the point size here. Let's say 0.2. Click OK. Let's say that's fine. 0.2. Now, what if I want to put a leader, dot? Okay, so this arrow means to say that if I click here, because that's the first arrow, no, the last arrow. This would be the last point, and I'm going to choose this one, circle, and I click OK. So this one made a circle. Okay, because it means to say when I click on my Bezier tool, let's say I click here and here. Okay, so this was my first point and this one's my last point, right? So if I go to my outline pen, okay, see this one is my first point. Let's say I'm going to make this one as my first point, and then this one, this tip of the line, let's say I would make it this one, and then click OK. See now this circle was the last point and this one is the first point. It's the same with this one here. Okay, so I'll do another one. So hold on Control. Let's say this side here. I magnify. Still a live object. I'm happy with that. I click on frozen. Go back here. I can enlarge it. I can overlap it a little bit. And then I can create a line from here to there. Okay, I color it white, so right mouse click on white here. And I go to my outline pen. And here I'm going to make it circle and click OK. This one I'll make it to front, arrange order to front of page. So if I zoom in here, see that circle was the end of the line. Okay, now let's go to page 3 here. So click on page 3. And if you notice here, in our lens effect, we can also make the lens as wireframe. See, if this one is only a circle of the effect wireframe here. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm just going to show you. So if I click on rectangle or any shape, let's say I'm going to make it this one here. Okay. And I go to my lens effect here and see wireframe. So I click on wireframe. And notice this one changes to wireframe. Okay. And here the outline here, I can change it to a different outline. Let's say blue. And this one changes too. Okay. So I'm not really sure where you can use this, but it's there, and you can probably use it. Let's say you're doing a portfolio and you wanted to show people that your drawing is not a bitmap, it's a vector image. So what you can do, you can create a shape and then change it to wireframe here, just to show them that it is actually a vector image and not a bitmap. Okay, now let's go to page 4 here. And this one is also the same concept as the first one, but we just use the arrows. Okay, so I'm not gonna explain how to create this one because you already know how to do it. It's just the arrows that I'm going to explain. Okay, so I delete the arrow first. Okay, so I'm going to go to my basic shapes, those arrow shapes. Okay, so we make an arrow first. Okay, let's say that's my arrow. Okay, I'm going to go that side because that would be my arrow. Okay, for now I'm going to create a gray arrow first. And notice here, when you're doing the arrows, if you click on your shape tool, this one you can click and drag. you can change the shape of the arrow, like the head of the arrow. If you want it really pointed or not too pointed, you can select it by choosing the shape tool. Now I'm going to rotate this. So click one more time and then rotate. Okay, I'll make it red because I think that's the one that I used. Now let's say you still want to reshape the arrow. Okay, I have to go to arrange. So I click the arrow, I have to go to arrange and convert to curves so that I can reshape it. So I click on to curves. Now if I zoom in here, now I can make it curve. Okay, so I go to my shape tool. So I click this one. Actually, I can move this node here going this way. There, I can reshape the arrow. Okay, let's say I want to make this curve, so I click on that line, convert line to curve. Click on that line, convert line to curve. Okay, I can still reshape this with the nodes. Change this one. There. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this arrow here. Okay, I'm just gonna make it a little bit change. Okay, so I'll click on this object here and we're going to make it to front. So shift page up is the shortcut key, and I'm just going to make it smaller here. And in here I can create a transparency effect. So I go to my transparency, click and drag. Okay, and then just drag the and remove the outline there. Or you can always experiment what's the best way. So I'm going to click on the plus sign. I'm just going to see the effect if I reverse the transparency from here to there. There, that could be a good one too. Okay, so I'm just going to, I think this is better. So I delete that and then move this over there. That's good for scientific illustrations or yeah. Okay, so here in page 5, click on page 5. If you notice here, this lens it's also about lens. Okay, if I click on this and then move it, see it's like a transparency. Okay, so I delete that. So let's say you want to just emphasize this part of your illustration or technical drawing. So I click on my circle, hold on Control, and let's say I want to specify or highlight just this part here. Okay. Now I have to, if I click on this and I click on brighten here, see that's the one that brightens up, but I don't want it that way. I want it reverse. I want this object here around the circle to be brightened, but this one to be like, you know, the actual drawing. So I'm going to undo that. So you have to do two shapes there, the circle and also this border here around the photograph. Okay, there's a shortcut key to do the border outline. Actually, there's two ways. So you click on the image and you go to effects, click on create boundary. So you have a border around the picture. Okay. There's also one way. So you click on the photograph and then hold down shift and double click on rectangle, and it creates the border of the photograph. Okay. So now I click on the border. I know it's border because in here the status bar, and then I hold down shift and choose the circle. Okay. And then combine. So you click on combine here or Control L, this icon for combine. Okay, So once I click on combine, then I can change the brightness. Here, change the brightness. I can also delete the, remove the outline. Right mouse click on the X icon. So there. So that's another use for the lens. So then you can experiment. Like this is brighten. Let's say you color add. See, there's lots of heat map. See, that's a nice effect too. Invert. Okay, we already know magnify or tinted grayscale. And then when tinted grayscale, you can change the grayscale color to a different color. Let's say gray. Let's say blue. Okay, it's endless. Like you can do lots of effects. Here. Anyway, experiment on those ones, on all of these, these lens effects here. Now let's go to page 5 or page 6 here. Now in here I can also make a design wherein, let's say I want the background to be grayscale. Not the background, just a portion of it to be a grayscale. Okay, so I click on the image. Okay, hold down shift double click on rectangle. Okay, I have that already, and then I duplicate that rectangle. Okay, plus sign your keyboard, and then I hold down shift and then move this one going in there. Okay, so I have two objects, this one and then this one. I'm just gonna undo twice. Okay, so I click on the outer rectangle and then the inner one, hold down shift, click on it, and click on the inner, and then you go combine. Okay, so once you combine, in here there's a small preview of where the lens would be, which object will be affected with the lens. So it's only this one here. So then I can make this grayscale or tinted grayscale. Okay, and I'm just going to remove the outline there. So you have now an image with a colored portion and then black and grayscale outside. So there's endless effects that you can use with these lenses.